You are watching the Unconfirmed Diegesis. In this episode, we present for your consideration and entertainment the March 1948 case of the Aztec UFO crash, a story tangled in scandal and greed, marked by fraud convictions, and ultimately buried beneath layers of controversy. The case that was dismissed as fiction. Perhaps the scandal alone was enough to discredit it, to label it a hoax, file it away, and ensure it was never taken seriously again. Quietly left to be forgotten. However, just because two opportunists tried to profit from the story doesn't necessarily mean the entire account is false. Is it too far of a stretch of the imagination for us to consider that these two men saw an opportunity, seized it, ran with the hype of the moment, just to take advantage of the UFO crash, all for the sake of making money off of the event? In 2011, the Federal Bureau of Investigation quietly launched an online archive known as the Vault, releasing thousands of documents under the Freedom of Information Act. Most files faded into obscurity, but one document refused to stay buried. That file, dated March 22nd, 1950, was a memo written by Guy Hottel, then head of the Washington Field Office, described a chilling report of 3 flying saucers that had allegedly been recovered in New Mexico. Each craft, roughly 50 feet across, reportedly contained small humanoid bodies, just 3 feet tall, dressed in what was described as a metallic fabric. According to the memo, the crafts may have been brought down by interference from a powerful radar installation. Then, just as quickly as the memo surfaced, the trail went cold. No further evaluation was attempted. Or was it? I present this question to you. We know 2 of the crashes involve the Roswell crash. Might the Aztec crash be the 3rd on the Guy Hottel list? Fast forward to 78 years later, time has a way of reshaping how we see the past. With that in mind, we invite you to revisit the evidence with your fresh set of eyes, question the narrative, challenge the conclusions, and decide for yourself, truth or fiction. More than a year before that infamous March 22nd, 1950 memo, another story had already begun to circulate, one far more detailed and far more dangerous. In March 1948, deep within the rugged, oil-rich Badlands near Aztec, a story began to circulate among locals, engineers, and eventually military insiders, one that would later become one of the most controversial UFO incidents in American history. According to the story, a massive disc-shaped craft, estimated at nearly 100 feet in diameter, was seen descending silently over the desert before coming down in what some described not as a crash, but a controlled, deliberate landing in a remote canyon known as Heart Canyon, roughly 12 miles northeast of town. Witnesses and second-hand sources claimed the object emitted no conventional engine noise, instead gliding with an eerie stability before settling into the terrain. When recovery teams, allegedly including military personnel and scientists, arrived on site, they reportedly found the craft largely intact, its metallic surface smooth, seamless, and unlike any known aircraft construction of the time. Some accounts describe strange symbols etched along the interior walls, along with a layout that suggested advanced engineering far beyond 1940s technology. Inside the craft, the most startling claims emerged. Not just 1 or 2 occupants, but as many as 16 small humanoid beings. These entities were described as uniformly sized, between 3 and 4 feet tall, with slender bodies, oversized heads, and delicate features. Their skin was said to be pale or grayish, and they wore tight-fitting, metallic-looking garments that seemed fused or tailored seamlessly to their forms. According to certain accounts, the bodies appeared undamaged, as if preserved, raising further questions about whether the craft had truly crashed or had been forced down under unknown circumstances. Adding to the mystery, some versions of the story suggest the area was quickly sealed off by military forces, with debris, bodies, and the craft itself removed under heavy secrecy. Locals later reported an unusual increase in military presence, restricted access to the canyon, and warnings to stay away, fueling speculation that whatever happened near Aztec in March 1948 was not only real, but deliberately concealed. The story was brought into the public eye by Frank Scully, who published explosive accounts in Variety before expanding them into his best-selling book Behind the Flying Saucers. According to his sources, the craft was unlike anything known on Earth, powered by magnetic forces, constructed with mathematical precision, and stocked with strange materials, including concentrated food wafers and so-called heavy water. The hoax, or something more complicated. At the center of the controversy were two men, Silas Newton and Leo A. Gebauer. Both claimed to possess insider knowledge of a recovered flying saucer near Aztec, New Mexico. Knowledge, they said, came from direct access to the wreckage itself. But instead of presenting that information through scientific channels or official reports, they took a different route, one that would ultimately define how the entire story was remembered. They began touring the country, speaking to investors, oil executives, and curious audiences, promoting a series of devices commonly referred to in the oil industry as doodlebugs. These instruments, they claimed, were not just advanced, they were revolutionary. According to Newton and Gebauer, the technology behind them had been reverse engineered from extraterrestrial machinery recovered from the crash site. With it, they said, users could detect underground reserves of oil, natural gas, and even precious metals like gold with unprecedented accuracy. At a time when the post-war economy was booming and the search for natural resources was intensifying, their claims attracted serious attention and serious money. But scrutiny soon followed. Journalists and scientists began asking for proof. Investors wanted demonstrations. Skeptics demanded something tangible. Under pressure, Newton and Gebauer produced what they claimed was a fragment of the alien craft itself, a piece of otherworldly metal said to exhibit unusual properties. It didn't. Independent analysis revealed the sample to be nothing more than ordinary aluminum, common, terrestrial, and entirely unremarkable. The foundation of their claims began to crumble. What had been presented as extraterrestrial technology now looked increasingly like a calculated scheme. Investigations intensified, testimonies unraveled, and by 1953, both men were convicted of fraud. For many, that was the end of the story. The Aztec crash was dismissed as outright fabrication born from greed, amplified by imagination, and exposed through deception. But then, there were a few others that have continued to ask a lingering question. Did two opportunists invent the entire story from nothing? Or did they attach themselves to something real, something already whispered about behind closed doors, and exploit it for profit? Because if there was any truth buried beneath their claims, their actions may have done more than just defraud investors. They may have ensured that no one would ever take the story seriously again. Not to mention that there is no need for a cover-up story about the crash, since one so conveniently already existed. The story was now too hot for anyone to touch. Silas and Gebauer single-handedly tainted the encounter because of their lust for money. Case closed. Right? Not quite. Skeptics pointed to their hoax as evidence that the entire Aztec incident was fabricated. Over time, others began asking different questions. Did this convenient collapse of credibility bury something much bigger? Who would benefit the most from discrediting the story? What if it wasn't just simply a scam exposed? In the years that followed, the Aztec crash faded into obscurity. Many researchers distanced themselves from it, fearing association with a proven fraud. Yet whispers persisted. Reports later surfaced of recovered alien bodies being transported to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, specifically to the now infamous Hangar 18. Official statements denied everything. Still, the rumors refused to die. In 1974, ufologist Robert Spencer Carr publicly claimed that extraterrestrial bodies from Aztec were being stored there. His statements were swiftly dismissed. Later, researcher Leonard Stringfield went even further, suggesting that the Aztec craft was just one of many recovered and hidden by the US military. According to accounts that surfaced over time, the materials used in these crafts were nearly indestructible, impervious to heat, resistant to damage, and far beyond known technology. Descriptions of the beings remained eerily consistent: small, lightweight, humanoid, and not of this world. So, let's examine just where this leaves us. 1. An FBI memo dated March 22, 1950, written by Guy Hottle, then head of the Washington Field Office, describing a report of 3 flying saucers that had allegedly been recovered, but offers no follow-up investigation. 2. A massive disc-shaped craft, estimated at nearly 100 feet in diameter, was seen descending silently over the desert in New Mexico, landing in a canyon. 3. A UFO encounter conveniently dismissed as a hoax and never fully investigated because of 2 men. No cover-up needed, nothing to see here. 4. A story discredited so well that nobody would even look into it out of fear of ridicule, rendering it never fully disproven. 5. Is it a coincidence that after decades of denials, alongside persistent claims of hidden evidence, that this story matches up with many other UFO encounters? 6. Is this Aztec UFO crash merely fiction made up for a hoax? Or could it be something else that was carefully buried beneath layers of ridicule and misinformation? For these reasons, the Aztec crash lands in the unconfirmed Diegesis case files. And now it is up to you to decide, just a hoax or something else? On the unconfirmed Diegesis, we don't just look at what was said, we examine what was dismissed, ignored, and quietly filed away. Because sometimes, the truth isn't erased, it's discredited. If you have enjoyed this retelling of the Aztec UFO crash, like and subscribe so you won't miss the next time we dive into the unconfirmed.